Mainstream Metaphysics with your host, Nick Newmont.
And it is another Tuesday night in Los Angeles. Hello, I am Nick Newmont, and welcome to Mainstream Metaphysics. As I've said over the last few Tuesday nights, which sounds redundant, it's not a repeat of a show. It's hot. But I won't be complaining when it's not hot. It's all good. We are here live, coming to you from the studios of Conejo Valley Talk Radio in Westlake Village, California, and have a fun show for you tonight. In a moment, we're going to bring in Alexandra. Alexandra is a longtime friend and associate of mine, going back to the very early 2000s, probably 2001. I think she remembers that because she knows when Serena was a baby. And she, like myself, is a medium and a channel. And she channels a group of spirits that she has quantified as Golden Arrow. And she'll talk more about that if this is the first time that you're tuning in and seeing Alexandra. Well, we are in Mercury direct now. Monday in the wee hours, Mercury went direct, but there still are snafus. So you still, before you jump into all those things that you've had on hold, you still have to wait a little bit and let Mercury gain momentum moving forward. There is a certain amount of residue, and in Mercury retrograde, there is the 3-week shadow period before Mercury retrograde, the 3 weeks while Mercury is stationed retrograde, and of course, when Mercury is in the post-shadow period. So just give yourself a chance to gain some momentum before you go into making all those critical decisions and then look back and go, oh, why didn't I wait? Okay? So anyway, let's bring Alexandra in, and there she is. Hello, Alexandra.
Hi, Nick.
Welcome back to the show.
With you.
I mean, you have been doing the show with us, me and or Audrey, since the early days of being on LA Talk Radio in the studios there in Sherman Oaks. So, and as I was saying before we brought you in, I think I've known you since 2001, when Serena was a baby, right?
Yeah, Serena was a baby. She was not even walking yet.
Right.
Yeah.
So, anyway, and by the way, it's just so we're counting. In November, Serena will be 25. So.
Wow.
Some time
25 years, huh?
Yeah, some time has passed, has it not?
Yes, has it not? Yes.
But we still look good, damn it, don't we?
Okay. So, yes.
Yes. So, first of all, spiritual stuff aside, how are you? That's the first and foremost thing.
Yeah, I'm good. Really good. Busy. I have a retail store, so I'm busy with that.
Right.
And I have a home in southern Baja. So I'm back and forth here at my condo in Lake Arrowhead and down in Baja. And so this is a extra busy time for me because I'm doing my fall-winter buying. So I'm going to the trade shows and placing orders and so forth that will be shipped for my store for fall and winter. So it's fun because I get to see what's new and exciting for sweaters and jackets and coats.
Right.
It is. It's a lot of fun. I'm a girl.
Hey, look, it's not all just for the girls. I was in the schmata business for almost 20 years. So in the men's side of it, but I used to love going to shows and buying trips and all that kind of stuff, flying to New York because I was, in the Western Pennsylvania then. And I still love clothes.
Yes. And you still do buying too for crystals and the
Yes.
things that you sell there in in your center there.
Right. Yes. And today I was at. Now this is really cool. I was at one of the big warehouses that's not too far away, where we get a good amount of our supplies. But it wasn't just for the institution. Two people had me do personal shopping for them, and I must tell you, picking crystals and getting people on FaceTime and shopping for them, I just love doing that. And
Yeah, how fun, huh?
yes, because last Saturday, in fact, you know this from the show the week before, Audrey has been doing house cleansings with me, doing pentagram ritual. And so we did a house last weekend down in Rancho Palos Verdes Estates, and this house was a little over 7,000 square feet, and very, very elegantly appointed, not ostentatious, not that at all, just an understated elegance. And they love crystals, and there were a couple things that they didn't have. So I got to go today and shop for these people, and they'll come this coming Saturday. They're coming to class, and they're going to get them. And then Audrey called me, and she has a client in New Jersey. Says, call Linda. Got her on the phone. What do you need? Because I was at the warehouse. So yes, I love shopping. And you carry crystals at Alexandra's Emporium in Lake Arrowhead, right?
Yes. I do my buying in Tucson. Every like the end of February actually it's the end of January, first part of February that I go and do my buying there.
Right.
I don't have a huge inventory like you do because it's a smaller space, but it's still a lot of fun.
Now, I've been to your place, of course, and one of the things that I really like, and this is just Nick the little kid, is you have a permanent Christmas corner in your store, right?
Yeah, perpetual. Yes.
That does not offend me at all. Okay. I love Christmas.
Yes,
By the way,
me
in
too.
the comments, in the comments, we were talking about Serena. Serena is watching. And I think what we'll do tonight as we get into Golden Arrow is do some call-ins. We'll have people call and ask questions. Are you good with that?
I am very good with that. In fact, Hugh wanted me to ask you, he has a couple questions, and he wanted me to ask you if he could ask those questions. And I told him I would ask you. He probably would not call in, but he probably would text or something like that.
Okay. Well, for those of you who are watching at home, the office line, because I have to watch the feedback on my other phone, but the line that you would text or call is 818-865-8770. Don't call right away, because there are some things that I want to discuss with Alexandra before we get into Golden Arrow. Now, this coming Saturday, we are doing a class at the center, and it has to do with the soul hara and the divine hara. Now, you actually studied with me way back when. And we know the hara line, H-A-R-A, hara, is the line of intention that starts about 1.5 feet above the head and goes down through the center of the body as a bendable line of light, crossing key points, the seat of the soul's longing, the core star, the Dantian, the earth star, and all the way down into the earth. But through time, we've discovered that there is a soul hara, which is in the outer dimensions of the aura. And when we're young, the soul hara is not connected to the hara line, okay? Because we are in our youth, so to speak. We are up to our choices in keeping the hara line as straight as possible. And the soul hara blends the soul's intention into our intentions. But a couple months ago, discovered that there is another hara line that's in the 12th dimension called the divine hara. And this is, say it, God or Spirit's intention for us that filters down into the soul hara and then into our hara line of intention. And the point that's would be way above the head where the ID point is, the individuation point, is called divine will. And then it comes down is love of God, mind of God, spirit of God, and all the way down into God incarnate. All right? So the question for you, because you channel Golden Arrow, where the spirit that I channel most of the time is Merlin, and Merlin was a physical incarnate. But Golden Arrow, the quantification of spirits that you commune with, were never physical beings. So after that long-winded introduction, what is, when we talk about the divine hara or spirits or God's intention for us, Alexandra, what is that all about? Because we have free will and choice, so we're told, okay? But what is it they're intending for us?
Mm-hmm. So, Golden Arrow is always present with me. And of course, they're having conversation with you, with me, which is interesting in and of itself. The God intention with me that you asked about is forever and always to be at peace and be in peace with where you are in the moment, because every moment is for growth and to become more, everything. So with that in mind, no matter what free will choice or choices that you are making or that you are intending, the God influence is always there, saying it without words, of course, but influencing you to always know and understand that you are loved regardless of the outcome of the choices that you make. So the choices and the outcome that you make in the physicality or in whether you're young or teenager or older, doesn't matter. The choices that you make, you bring to you on purpose to learn, to grow, and to become more. And attached to that purpose, then, is the physical emotionality, where we humans are learning how to instruct our mind in how we desire to think and feel and be for our highest good.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. It does. Now, a question is that, so does divine will ever override the choices that we make?
The answer is yes.
Okay, can you explain that?
When we make a really, I'll use my own vernacular, when we make a really stupid choice that is life-threatening, would be a good example. The influence from the God source will come in magically and shift that decision or choice that you made, because you have not completed the lifetime experience, even though the stupid choice that you made was going to end that experience. they will enter in and I'll use my own terms, save you. I'll put that in quotes because it's it's their intention to guide and direct us all along our path and our journey, giving us free will choice and decisions that we make for ourselves, and the experiences that we get from them are truly up to us, because we're one, the creator in this human experience, in this dichotomy of the black and the white, the contrast, the up and the down. But and we see that in many instances when in car accidents where one survives and the rest of them do not survive, and they were all in the same accident.
Right.
Which happened just a few days ago, actually. The baby survived. The mom and the dad did not.
It's fascinating. Tragic. The human part of it is tragic. When we step away from that, and it's hard to step away from that, it's fascinating how that works out. How much, when you commune with Golden Arrow, do you get a sense of how much they feel that we do have destiny? In other words, we have free will and choice, but how many components of our life, like for instance, I could look at anybody's astrology chart and say the potential to do this is there, high potential. And we know that people can screw it up. People could say, yeah, but I'm not going to do that, okay? But is there a percentage that you would say, Alexandra, where that there is fate and destiny, that that person is going to do whatever that high potentiality is?
So I would say yes to that, with a caveat that at any moment in time, we have the option of changing that. We always have that option of shifting and changing a decision that we made. Foreseeing the future. That would be a really good example, Nick. Foreseeing the future. I made this choice. I'm doing this. But I see that this could be the result, and I don't like that result, and I'm going to change it.
Sure. There is a story. I'm going to go ahead.
There's no age attached to that either.
Right.
There's no age attached to that. You can be 3 or 4 or 5 years of age. We're very intelligent beings at 3, 4, and 5 years of age, and we have a connection, as you know and teach. We have a connection with Source, all that is,
right.
Until we change that connection.
How would you interpret, when we were talking a little bit ago, that we have this hara line, this line of intention, which is about as solid as cooked spaghetti. We are easily pulled in different directions, so we are not as intentional as we could be. I give the example of, unless you're a monk in the hills of Tibet and all you're doing is meditating, then your hara line as a normal human being is going to get pulled in different directions, but that doesn't mean we're still not intentional. Then there's the soul hara. In other words, this intermediary between the physical person and the divine hara, where the soul is communicating to the physical being, these are the things that are part of your dossier in this existence. And it does give us commands. But how much does that, the divine hara, God's intention for us, bleed through into the physical being where, how do I want to say this, where we zig when we should zag mysteriously and end up in the right place? I mean, look, people say, it's so sweet when people say, do I have spirit guides? Oh, honey, if you didn't have spirit guides, you couldn't get through this lifetime. People have no idea how they are adjusted and moved like a chess piece. At times they don't even realize it. But
Yes.
that's what I'm trying to, and I think at some point we'll bring Golden Arrow through, because there are people that do want to ask questions. How much are we influenced by, and you referred to it, but you didn't say the exact words, divine intervention, and just says, no, you're not doing that. You're doing this.
Yes, well, I don't think it's on a daily mundane basis. I think that it is used or happens in the most opportune times when we are unaware or when our focus is shifted and we make that stupid choice, that stupid decision. I'll call it stupid. It's a decision that the outcome is not what we preferred, and so we change that decision.
Sure.
But the source, all that is, only steps in when you haven't finished the work that you came here to do, and the agreement that you made with your soul family.
Right.
The God source only steps in those instances, because for source, and Golden Arrow points this out often, there is no emotionality when we are outside of this physical experience. When we are a soul and a vibration, there is no emotionality like we have with a brain. So it's really up to us to work at and focus on, through meditation is really the best way I know to describe it, to focus on shifting our brain, whose job it is to keep us alive at all costs. That's how we make the stupid decisions that we do, to keep us alive at all costs. And that's how we stub our toes and stub on the big boulders that's in our journey. That's how that happens. God says, this is your journey, this is your trip, and you can make it whatever you desire and want to make it. However you stub your toe is how you learn and how you grow and become more. In fact, it's the emotionality that we've attached to situations and choices that we make that help us grow. Without the emotion, Nick, there is no growth. And we would not choose to come here and have this physical experience.
People are stronger in some areas of their life, and they're more challenged in other areas. And so human nature has a tendency to make more mistakes in a certain theme of their life. So let's say, for instance, a person continues to make mistakes in terms of romantic endeavors. And a therapist would say, you're doing that again. Okay, you're repeating that. But on a more spiritual level, what happens when a person just keeps choosing poorly? And again, we realize that there are a lot of factors that come into the psychology of how we're conditioned and what we experience and all that. We realize that. But I'm speaking more on a spiritual level, as like, how do they see us when we keep another wrong one, another wrong one, another wrong one? How do the spirits look at that?
It's meaningless to them. because there's no emotion that's attached to it.
Okay.
I'm the one that says, oh gosh, I did it again. I did it again and again and again and again. I'm the one that says that. I'm the one that holds the emotion about it. For source, spirit, non-physical beings, they just look and they say, at some point, you're going to get it. And when you get it, then you'll be able to look back and see how it is that you came and grew all along the way so that you're not doing that same thing anymore. And that's where the brain comes in. You shifting your belief systems, shifting them and stating an intention. I release and let go of all of the thoughts and beliefs that I have about a partner needing to be this way or that way. And I go within and I shift and change me so that I reflect out there that perfect partner and mate that will come to me.
Okay.
That's all about intention. That's all about the work that I am responsible to do. There's nobody. Golden Arrow has this phrase: you're the only one in the room. You're it. Everybody else around you is just a mirror. You are in your own boat. Nobody else is in that boat. Nobody else is on that journey. Audrey would say, I'm the only one in this car.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
if I'm the only one, why is this all happening to me? Because all of this out there is a mirror to show me what it is I want or what I don't want. It's really simple. It's the emotions that we attach to that make it so volatile, that make it so hurtful, that make it so painful.
There, when people who are not in a relationship go through times when they're not with anyone, okay, and people do bemoan, I don't have anyone, I'm all by myself, all that kind of stuff. There's all, it is what it is, right? But on a spiritual level, how thin is the veil between loneliness and solitude?
Yeah.
That's a loaded question.
That's a great question. Because when we practice quieting our mind so that we don't think through meditation, when we practice that, there is a fullness and a richness in the feeling. And those of you that do meditate, you know that there is a point in that meditation where all of what you thought mattered doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
When all that you thought that you needed in your life, you don't need, because there
Right.
is a fullness and a completeness, a filled upness where you don't have loneliness. You don't solitude, Nick, really good question. Solitude is the key.
Mm-hmm.
Being quiet and going within, everything you've ever desired, ever wanted, and ever felt is there.
Audrey typed in loneliness and solitude.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. And Audrey's a really good example of that when she goes away on her little journeys into the forest and to a lake or wherever she goes. That's exactly what she's going there for. And she does it
Right.
on purpose, intentionally. She goes there to fill herself up with solitude,
Right.
with peace,
Right.
bliss. Bliss is a really good word because when you are in bliss, it has nothing to do with the physical properties of living. Bliss is out of the universe or out of the physical realm into universal vibration. That's
Right.
bliss.
We are good answers. We are halfway through the show. May we bring Golden Arrow in? And for the people viewing, what I want you to do is text 818-865-8770. And if you can put that up, to text that number, don't call it. That way the text will not
Be disturbed.
yes.
Okay.
8770.
Well, greetings to you. Greetings to you indeed. Truly, it is a delightful experience for us to be here with you, to communicate with you, to interact with you, but far more importantly, to commune with you in this way. Truly, it is a delightful experience for us. Alexandra was just interacting with you, Nicholas, within the framework of quieting the mind through what you call on the planet meditation. And meditation does not need to be, this is for the viewing audience here, does not need to be still and in a state within your environment for a certain period of time. It does not mean that at all. Bringing in your soul vibration through the framework of quieting the mind. It is not really the meditation that is important at all. It is allotting a period of time where you are connecting with your soul. And it could be walking in a park, it could be at the beach, it could be in the forest, it could be anywhere in nature, because nature comes to you and touches you in profound ways, because nature truly is the vibrational offspring of God, all that is, all that was, and all that ever will be, in the framework of an ocean, a lake, a flower, a plant, a tree, etc. So, quieting the mind is the key that we would like to express to your viewing audience. Quieting the mind so that the mind does not have to think and keep you on a treadmill, or keep you on the squirrel going around in the cage, etc. In other words, bringing it all to a place of no thought and of just being. Because when you are in that state, there is no emotion attached, and you can see the difference in your daily mundane life where there is emotion attached to choices that you make that create what we would call, and you call, drama. Experiences that have emotion attached. That is important for all humans to understand. Emotions attach to choices that you make. And it is up to you to decipher if that is the emotion that you want to entertain. You are the one creating it all. Truly, Alexandra spoke from how we see your earthly experience. And that is from the framework of, this is all about you as a singular being. You are the only one in your room, your environment, your boat, so to speak, your it. Everyone and everything else you have brought in to reflect to you what it is that you do not want, what it is you do want, and you can pick and choose. The good example is being an artiste, an artist that is doing a painting. You are holding a palette with all the different colors on it. You can choose any one of those colors and you can test it out on your canvas. How does it feel? How does it look? Do you like that outcome? If not, choose again a different color. Does not matter. That is what the earthly experience is all about. Choosing again. Take away the emotionality, take away the pain, the hurt, take away all of the criticism, the judgment. Take that away and just look at who you really are without the emotion. And you will see yourself to be a grand being of light energy. That is who you are. Having a human experience in this physical body that you call by your name.
When you advise humans to meditate, and we humans advise other humans to meditate, there is also what humans do in a time of desperation is they pray. Golden Arrow, when what is the vibration of desperate prayer when a human seems to be in trouble? Is that heard any differently or received any differently than just a connective meditation?
It is not. It is not heard any differently. It is not taken in any differently because the intention behind it, the amount of energy, the force of the energy behind it has an intent that is dominant. When you state an intention, it is no different than the dominant energy that you have spoken to the universe to help, to bring help to you, no matter what that prayer is. But as you stated it, Nicholas, that it is a dire. It is a dire intention of spoken word help. I need help.
Okay.
Does not matter if it is that way or if it is just an intention that I desire to live my life this way. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. Golden Arrow, I'm going to ask some questions on behalf of people that are asking. This question comes from Cheryl, and she's in the state of Texas in the United States. She wants to know if the spirit sees an activity director job in her near future.
All right. It is very important that she state the intention that that is her desire to receive. If she has already stated that intention, that it is her desire to receive, then step back and do not place a time frame on it at all. Because when you state an intention that this is the desire that you or the direction that you desire to be in, or the position that you desire to acquire or to have, the second part of that intention is to not place judgment on when that is to occur, when it is to transpire, because you have your own work. She has her own work about receiving that, if that is her intention to receive. You understand?
I do
so
understand.
She has work to do.
Okay. All right. So in other words, she has to claim it for herself.
Not only claim it for herself, when she states her intention to receive this directorship, when she states that intention, it is so, period. Now is her ego stepping forward. Well, I want it tomorrow. I want it next month. And that is where humans get into difficulty in creating the emotionality of see, it did not happen. It did not work. That's the judgment and a criticism that you place upon it. So stepping back and just saying, I allow it to come to me in its perfect right time frame. Thank you so much. And so it is. So it is. And so it is.
And when people ask questions about something occurring at a certain time, and in the times that I've channeled Merlin, he has actually chided humans on the question when, and that when interferes with the process. Golden Arrow, how do you feel about when?
Yes, the when is the closed door. When you state in all right action and framework of the right time frame, then the door swings open, and then you allow that vibration to flow to you.
Okay. This question, next question, thank you, comes from Serena, and she's asking if her work environment is going to stabilize and will she move residence before the month of November, which is 3 months away.
Well, we would ask, what is her desire? To move within that time frame?
Yes, I can answer that for her. It is her desire to move in that time frame.
Yes. Then she's the painter, she's the artiste, yes? So now she goes about. Uh, uh, so you have an intention, and then there's an action to that intention. So once she states the intention that this is the desire that I am choosing, go about creating that environment. Go about creating it. Start looking at places to shift to. Start looking at whatever the job environment that she is in. Create the more of that environment, whatever it is that she is choosing, her work environment, to what do you call it, to step up to the next level, so to speak. Do you understand?
Completely. When we've talked about when as a form of limitation, sometimes when humans want to acquire something where money is involved, there is an assumption that it takes a certain amount of money to procure whatever that thing is. How would you advise humans, Golden Arrow, to eliminate that there has to be a certain amount of wealth to attain? What do they have to do with their minds to circumvent the limitation of wealth?
Yes. So when you state the intention that you are bringing the vibration or the energy and the flow to you of great wealth, of financial abundance, when you state that intention that you are seating yourself in the flow of abundance and great wealth, when you're seating yourself in that flow, you are there. And all that you do and all that you are uh, um, producing, whether it be a job or another environment where you are making money, whether you are investing that money to make more money, all of that is the flow that you are seating yourself in. So take your personality and place it in the flow of abundance and great wealth. In other words, you're not looking at it over there, you're placing yourself in it. And when you're in that flow, there are myriad of opportunities. You're the artist again. You have this palette and all these opportunities. Seat yourself in that flow and see all the opportunities that are available to you to acquire what you call money. Because money is just a vibration. That is all that it is. It is a vibration. It happens to be coins, and it happens to be paper, and it happens to be gold, and it happens to be silver. It happens to be whatever it is that you want to exchange and manifest as acquiring.
Right. When it comes to money, okay, and whatever form humans use to trade services,
Yes.
there has been talk for some time on Earth that there are, and some of it we already see, changes in global finance, how nations trade, but there's also, and it's what humans say is an overdue conversion of global currencies to create wealth. And it hasn't happened yet, but it seems to be in motion.
It is.
Any
All right, you have a swirling energetic flow that you call is, you term it an economic uh, uh, payoff, so to speak, or payback, so to speak, an investment, so to speak. So you have this energetic flow and understand that that energetic flow is planetary on this planet that you call Earth. And all of the daily mundane occurrences and happenings in within governments, within power, within individuals, all of that is within that flow. So go easy on yourselves and understand that that flow continues to flow. It continues to adjust. It continues to constantly go up and go down, so to speak. So indeed, those investments that all of humanity has taken advantage of and invested within, all will have a what do you call it? A return, so to speak, will come back. Allow yourself to just be at peace and be at ease and watch. Just watch without a critical eye, without judgment, without criticism of when and how come and why does not matter. You just take care of you as everything else around you is coming into manifestation. From our perspective, it is very easy for us to say to release the emotionality that is attached to that. Easy for us to say because we don't have emotion. But as you become at peace with where you are in your life experience, you can look at all that is going on over here with the monetary uh, 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 flow on the planet Earth. You can watch it and see it happening. But when you're at peace, there's no emotion that is attached to the why or the when and how come. Be just at peace and appreciate what you have in this moment of now. Guaranteed it will change.
Thank you. Thank you. There's another question from another person. This is, and I know this situation. This is an individual that is in the realm of law enforcement and has been, by perception, overdue a promotion or to the next level up. And this with this individual, the promotion could be accompanied with a geographical move that is significant. The question basically is, are they separate issues or are they a combo? Does the level up have to be with a geographic relocation?
Yes. Do you need more?
No, I think that was very specific. Thank you.
So the desire is for this individual, the desire is to uh, have this promotion, as you call it, uh, and the promotion is going to far surpass what this individual initially thought they would like this move to be, because they are going to relocate and it is going to be far more than what they thought it was going to be, to their advantage, to their growth.
Wonderful. Thank you. We have another question from another individual. And this is something that she's asking that anybody could ask this question. And the question is, will I accomplish my soul contract?
Absolutely. Every individual that chooses an earthly experience satisfies their soul contract, whether it be for one moment or whether it be for 101 years. The soul contract was installed or chosen before incarnation, before they took their first breath. So when you, as humans, see that someone who was very charismatic and who helped humanity a lot, who was had a big heart, as you would call it, and they suddenly drop the body, whether it be by their own hand or another way, does not matter. Did they complete their soul contract? Absolutely.
Okay. The
There
same
are no
person
accidents.
and the
There are
same
no
person is
accidents at
asking.
all.
Oh, okay. This same person is asking how she can help her son find himself. And that's all the information I have to ask from that question.
Yes, we understand, and we're on that wavelength. We are a golden arrow, and we speak directly to you, straight to your heart. And our advice to you is going to be to get out of his way. This
Okay.
is his journey. It is not your journey. It is not your job to help him in any way. This is his journey. He has chosen it, and he is living with the choices that he is making. He came here to learn, to become more, and to grow. And it is important for you to understand that you could be a hindrance to his growth and becoming more.
Interesting. Great answer. Golden arrow for planet Earth right now. Why is there so much confusion?
Well, you have to have the dichotomy. You have to have the up and the down, the black and the white. You must have the contrast in order to see what it is that you do desire. As a humanity, you are individuals in your own journey, your own boat, so to speak, but you are a conglomerate, each having your own specific journey that you created for yourself. You can only make changes and choose again when you realize that there's another choice that you can make. So humanity has, over the last 50, 75 years, come and grown to the degree that they have investigated all the different avenues of what is here for you all on this planet Earth. All the different avenues, all of them. So now that you are seeing all of them, some of you would call it the woke environment. Some of you would call it the spiritual environment. Some of you would call it just the human environment. Does not matter. You all have come to this place of saying to yourself, Is this how I truly desire to live my life on this planet Earth? Or would I rather live it this way, in peace and harmony and joy? So you must have the frustration, you must have the dichotomy, you must have the opposite in order to know what it is and to see what it is that you truly do desire that is the opposite of that. The opposite of hate is love. Yes?
Yes.
So you have confusion. What is the opposite of confusion? Peace and harmony and joy. So we ask you all, what do you desire? What do you choose? And how do you go in that direction of creating peace and harmony and joy? How do you go about doing that? By quieting your mind and instructing your mind how you desire to think and feel and believe. If you're living in peace and harmony and joy and you're intending that for yourself, and you're telling your mind, we are choosing in this moment of now to live and believe and be in peace and harmony and joy. Your brain says, all right, we can do that for you. The brain is cellular, it's made up of cells. So truly, it does what you tell it to do and to think. Now, when you find yourself in a quandary of, well, should I do this or shouldn't I do that? Your question to your mind is this in peace and harmony and joy? Or is this in the emotion that is unlike love? Truly, you all have come to a place, a precipice, a drop off, so to speak, looking down into the ravine. You all have come to this place. How do we choose to live our life in peace and harmony and joy or emotionality? It's just a choice. Keep it simple. It's just a choice. You make drama on purpose, to have emotions on purpose, because truly you do not believe that it's worth getting up in the morning without being in drama. And we say to all of you, how is that going for you?
Fascinating. I have one last question, and this is for general society, because you speak quite often about humans having emotion and drama, and it's true that we seem to have an awareness of beings that people from Earth called extraterrestrials, people of advanced technology, advanced knowledge, all of that. These beings that we haven't really met yet as a general society.
Oh, you have met them.
Is there in their worlds their quality of life better than Earth's is?
Yes, not necessarily at all. Not necessarily. Their realm, it has its own experiencing or experiential learning and growing. It does not, you do not have to have a body. They have a type of energetic field that is different from the body, but they have their own experiencing in their realm. It is not good or bad, it is just different. And there are many, when you drop this body, you understand all the dimensions that there are and all the different realms of reality. And there are, the mind cannot expand enough to incorporate how many dimensions and realms of realities of growth and learning and becoming more that there are.
Right.
So, so this, but it is not important, Nicholas. It is not important for those other realms of reality to even exist. You have your own specific journey that you have undertaken here in this body that you call Nicholas, or by whatever name
Right.
you want to choose. This is the reality. Now, we also made comment early on in your question about extraterrestrials. They are among you in a physical body that looks just like yours on this earth plane, having this experience to see how it is, to see if this is something they want to experience more of, or if they came to just uh, 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 take in whatever they can take in from what they see and observe around them and what they hear, document it, and return to their home, so to speak, of their own reality. Uh, Earth experience, the physical body experience, ha- has always been, through the millennia, a I wonder what that's like. I wonder if we can go there and see what that's like. And in order to come here into this reality of the earth plane, there is much that has to be done for those that come here, extraterrestrials, as you call them, to adjust to this atmosphere. It is amazing and wondrous to investigate that. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Thank you very much. Golden Arrow, on the human level, we've run out of time. So we're going to ask one, thank you so much, and ask
All
you
right.
to
Well,
let.
then we'll leave the body at
Yes.
this time, and we offer then to you all blessings, peace, harmony, and joy.
Thank you.
So be it.
That was good. That was very good. Welcome back.
Oh.
Thank you. I want to, as we're slightly over time, but I want to say something to the viewing audience as per Golden Arrow. When Golden Arrow was speaking of people getting up in the morning and choosing drama, okay? What I would say to everybody that's watching, before you go to bed tonight, and any night, as you're starting to fall asleep, that is when the brain slows down and goes into theta, where we are the most prone to change. And if you have repeated habits, before you go to bed, start to visualize and intend what you want your tomorrow to look like and be like. If you are prone
Absolutely.
to certain repeated patterns, start from tonight before bed and tell yourself, or write, some of you journal or write affirmations. If you want tomorrow to look different and be different, then change it from tonight, because that's when the
Yes.
program begins, 30 minutes before we fall asleep. That's when the brain slows down. Great stuff, Alexandra. First of all, you in the first half of the show, thank you for your answers, because this show is not rehearsed. We didn't pre-talk about what I was going to ask. And by the way, some of the questions I asked came to me during the show. A couple of them I thought about before, and to everybody watching, thank you. We're grateful that you tuned in. And then the second half with Golden Arrow. And Golden Arrow answered specific questions to people that texted in. So
Yay.
anyway, thank you. We want to have you back on the show again some weeks or so down the road and keep this going. People need direction right now. People need to feel that they are being watched and looked over, that they're going to be okay. They need hope and reassurance right now. And folks like you and me, Audrey, we can give them that, and not false hope, not a bunch of cotton candy. We can give them, it's like, you're okay.
Do the work. Do your work.
Right.
The outcome when you do your work is beyond amazing.
Alexandra, I'm going to close the
Thank you
show.
for having me on, Nick.
What's that?
Thank you for having me on.
You're welcome. Thank you. Stay with me. Don't hang up. I'm going to close the show, but I would like to speak with you post-show, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay?
Absolutely.
All right, everyone. I will be back next week with more guests, and I don't have my book in front of me, but it's not next week, but in 2 weeks, I believe, fellow hypnotherapist Michelle Guzzi is coming on, and next week I may do a follow-up depending on who can host with me, whether Becca or Audrey, and I may have Merlin on next week and continue the spiritual advice. Once again, Alexandra, thank you. Thank you for those of you. Thank you for staying with us. We ran over. I'm sure you don't mind. And always remember, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. I'm Nick Newmont along with Alexandra. And this has been Mainstream Metaphysics. I will see you next week with another great show. Good night, everybody.